Welcome back to End Times Prophecy News for the 5 o'clock report. They just announced it, that it was mass voter fraud in Turkey. According to an international observer, up to 2.5 million votes may have been manipulated in the recent Turkish constitutional referendum. RT.com reports it is possible that 2.5 million Turkish votes were manipulated, changing the results of the recent constitutional referendum. An international observer monitoring the Turkish referendum told ORF radio. Aliv Koran, Austrian MP and member of the Council of Europe Observer Mission, said that there is a suspicion that up to 2.5 million votes could have been manipulated, as cited by Reuters. Koran also referred to the Turkish electoral authorities' move to accept as valid around 1.5 million unstamped ballots and envelopes. Actually, the law only allows official voting envelopes. The highest election authority decided, however, as it were against the law, that envelopes without official stamp should be admitted. The Austrian official was not the first to criticize the step. The Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, which oversaw the referendum, also slammed the decision, stating that it had significantly changed the ballot validity criteria, undermining an important safeguard and contradicting the law. On Monday, the Turkish president responded to the OSCE, saying that he did not see, hear, or acknowledge their reports, while telling the international observers to know their place. The main Turkish opposition party announced that they would present their appeal of the vote later on Tuesday, a day after they called for the outcome to be nullified, citing the use of unstamped ballots as well. Well, did George Soros have his hand in this one too? Excuse me, my voice. It would seem that George Soros had his hand in this one, didn't it? Who knows? 87 days into Trump's presidency, and no one saw this coming. Since President Trump took office, the surge of Haitian migrants illegally crossing over the border into the United States has dropped a staggering 97%, according to reports. From Allen B. West, a black man's publication, Black Lives Matter. It is one of the biggest among a plethora of success stories from the southwestern border, where illegal immigration appears to have nearly dried up in the 2 months since Mr. Trump took office. 6 months ago, U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers manning the ports of entry were encountering more than 100 Haitians a day. By March, only weeks into Mr. Trump's tenure, that had dropped to just 100 for the entire month, down a stunning 97%. Representative Duncan Hunter, a California Republican who was one of the first to expose the surge of Haitians last year and has tracked the issue since, said all it took was a commitment of enforcement to stem the flow. The fact that these numbers are not just down but so significantly reduced is a direct credit to the Trump administration, Cyrus, said Joe Casper, Mr. Hunter's chief of staff. It shows what a message of enforcement first signals to the rest of the world, and the extent to which the Obama administration policies were a fail, not a problem. This is outstanding news for the Trump administration and for anyone who takes the sovereignty of our nation seriously. Luckily, we finally have someone in the White House who does. Who is of the people, by the people, and for the people. Meanwhile, we have the demon crap, Maxine Waters, makes a stunning admission of national TV. She has admitted that taxes are too high for most Americans on MSNBC. Well, let's see, it's your buddy, old bummer, who wanted it like that. He's the one who made it like that. Let's see. Judge not, lest ye be judged, unless you are a hypocrite. But Maxine Waters has been proven to be a hypocrite. Yeah. Matthew 7, 1-5. And it never said to not judge. It just says, judge not, lest ye not be judged. Meaning, you will be judged back if you judge. And isn't that very true? Democratic Representative Maxine Waters, California, argued Monday night that taxes are too high for most Americans during an interview with MSNBC host Chris Hayes. Waters appeared on Hayes' show All In to discuss President Trump's refusal to release his tax returns. The White House has stated that Trump will not release his tax returns because he is under audit by the IRS. And all of a sudden, he has just been under the audit of the IRS. But oops! From Crap National News, it says here that Trump himself has been under audit ever since 2002 for 15 years. Trump's tax returns have been audited by the IRS each year since 2002, the letter said. And Trump's tax returns were between those years have been closed administratively by agreement with the IRS without assessment or payment on a net basis of deficiency. So why is it the United States keeps coming after him? Why? Because it's a spiritual war. They saw him. The fallen angels saw what he was going to be. They saw it coming. That God's servant was moving forward. So they started attacking him a long time ago to make it look like he was dirty. And of course, Maxine Waters is cashing in on that supposedly dirty, just like they've done with Michael Flynn, trying to do with Jeff Sessions, and of course, Stephen Nunes, Republican representative of California. As we move on here, Waters appeared on Hayes' show All In to discuss President Trump's refusal to release his tax returns. Trump broke with a long-standing tradition for presidential candidates and sitting presidents by not releasing his taxes. It's not a law, it's not constitution, but no, they just keep pushing this. Why? Because of all the fake presidents before that were of global elites and bureaucrats, they released their tax returns. And let's see, if they're on the same side as the bureaucrats, and IRS is very corrupt itself, let's see, how easy would it be to make them look clean? Yeah. But we've already seen 2005 tax reports, and Donald Trump paid far more than any of the other, Romney, Obama, Bernie, by far. But that doesn't mean nothing to the Democrats, does it? Over the weekend, critics of the president participated in tax marches across the country to put public pressure on the president to release his tax returns. Waters spoke at a tax march event in Washington. While on MSNBC Crap News, Waters was asked to respond to Trump's explanation for not releasing his tax returns. She argued that no one believes the president. Really? Probably about 10% don't, or 20%. Well, of course, nobody believes that, Waters said. This president is hiding something. That is what we believe. Yeah, for 15 years, he's hidden his tax returns that's been audited, and there's been no proof that he has not paid his taxes. Sure. Waters added that she believes Trump maybe hasn't paid any taxes for 10 to 12 years. Trump's 2005 tax return was leaked earlier this year, showing that he earned $153 million and paid $36.5 million in income taxes that year. Actually, I believe it said $39 million, but whatever. Later in her answer, Waters said that many Americans are struggling to pay their taxes. Americans are all over this country. Many are struggling to pay their taxes, of which Obama's your buddy that you walk with your pedophilia and pedogate has done, Waters. You're such a hypocrite. Middle-income people, working people, and many have to pay taxes that they can't afford. Such rhetoric from the hypocrite, little demon, Maxine Waters. Nothing comes out of her mouth that even makes any sense. Thank you for listening, and hope to look forward to you watching the 6 p.m. report. God bless you.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and